Happy Valentine's Day. Welcome to Lincoln Cathedral. This is the start of the Spires and Steeples Arts and Heritage Trail, which I'm going to be tackling today. It's about 26 miles long. It starts here at Lincoln Cathedral and ends in St Dennis Church in Sleaford. The actual walk starts around the front of the cathedral, but I thought I'd just nip around the back where it's a little bit quieter to bring us here to see the cathedral and the statue of Lord Alfred Tennyson, who of course was Poet Laureate for many years during Queen Victoria's reign and was born in Lincolnshire. As you can see, there's a bit of scaffold up there. There's a lot of work going on at the cathedral at the minute. Improvements, renovations well underway. So yeah, it's just gone 10 o'clock. I need to get a shift on, so we'll have a walk around to the front of the cathedral, which is where the walk officially starts, get a couple of photos and we'll get on our way. Granted, there's been a lot of renovations, extensions and even rebuildings through the cathedral's time, but what a grand structure. I know pretty much all of it was destroyed by an earthquake many moons ago. I'll put the date on screen. And it was all rebuilt in this new style, but just a magnificent piece of work. Again, work's going on Exchequer Gate, which is where we head through next. And plenty of work going on the front of the cathedral. So I head through Exchequer Gate into the market square. And ahead of us is the castle. Parish Church of St Mary Magdalene, which is just one of the spires and steeples mentioned on the trail. So this is Castle Hill. That's the castle over there, and we'll head down Steep Hill. Steep Hill leads down to the High Street, Lincoln High Street, where all the main shops and businesses are. There's a seat just below my legs, I'll show you it in a second. And that's just a little bit about it. I'm glad I'm going down the hill and not up. So we're just heading now past the collection and the Usher Gallery, which is, yeah, it's an art and archaeological museum. It is free entry, you could go into it. I'm not going into it today. I haven't got the time. We're carrying on down Danesgate as it's the Spires and Steeples walk. There's church number 2. St Swithin's Church. Still very much in the hustle and bustle of the town centre, but not for long. And your first piece of art. This is called Empowerment.
Yeah. Right.
So we're just going over this footbridge, which kind of will lead us out of Lincoln, but I know that the view from up here of the cathedral is pretty good. St Swithin's Church that we just walked past in the background there. And Stamp End Lock up ahead. So we're just on the water railway that links Lincoln and Boston. Each end apparently has one of these lookout towers. I've been up it before, the views aren't exactly great. There's not much to see at the minute. But yeah. That's called the Lincoln Stump, and there's one at the other end apparently. I assume it's called the Boston Stump. Right, so now I'm away from all the hustle and bustle of the Lincoln Centre. And you can sort of think a little bit. Basically what I've done this morning is I've driven to Sleaford, parked up in the station car park near the train station. I was going to park in a different car park, but I'd run a little bit short of time. I've got the train into Lincoln and a taxi from the train station up to the cathedral. It is walkable, but when you've got a 26-mile walk ahead of you, the last thing you want to be doing is walking up steep hill to the cathedral. But the weather is forecast to be gorgeous. It's supposed to be sunny all day, which is not bad for February the 14th. This trail is recognised on OS maps. But yeah, a bit different. It's a really flat walk, this 26 odd miles, but it is really flat, so hoping we can get to the other end by about 7 o'clock tonight. So 1 hour and 20 minutes it used to take on this train line to get from Lincoln to Boston. If you did it by steamboat journey, it would take 6 hours. Right, so I'm about 2.5 miles into this walk now, and I've not actually yet seen any of the little badges, waymarkers that I'm supposed to follow. Now, alright, I've got the route plotted on my GPS and I've got maps and whatever else, but you would expect to see them when it's supposedly a waymarked trail and marked on OS maps. Reached the area where we leave the water railway and head towards Washingborough. I do hope it's Washingborough first because I keep saying it. And oh, guess what I've just seen? There we go. So I'll show you in a second. Welcome to Washingborough. I was right. So if you want to carry on to Boston, it's another 29 miles of pretty much perfectly flat, I imagine, cycle track. We head into Washingborough. You can see the church. Let's have a look at this little arty. 2.5 miles to Lincoln, 7 miles to Bardney, and I've seen one. Chapel Park with a nice little owl carving to match another owl carving in the village, which I'm hoping I can find in a few minutes. Washingborough Methodist Church, sorry. Across from the monument here, and in the background the church, which I might have had a nice photo of from here if it wasn't quite a nice white car in the way. There seems to be quite a bit of aeronautical activity going on. Now we are in RAF territory. Can't see that one at the minute. Right, so I've just taken a little diversion as suggested on the website, spiresandsteeples.com, I think. I'll post the link in the description below. But the diversion was supposed to take me past a bench that was carved into an owl. Well, I didn't see it. I don't think I was in a daze. Yeah, supposed to be some arty bits, including that bench around Washingborough. I'm pretty much going back onto the trail now, and no, I didn't see it. It's not the owl, I don't think. Well, I do have a bench carving here. Didn't really want to sit against a busy road. There is some owls on it at that end. The windmill church, the Vulcan, and the shell. But it's not the bench I was looking for. I'll post a picture now that I'm going to steal offline of that bench, so you can just have a look at it. But I'm just going to sit here and have a bite to eat. Snowdrops are out in bloom. So I've left Washingborough and the next stop is Branston. It's a lovely day. Not the most exciting and enthralling walk, I'd have to say so far. But I'm out on Valentine's Day enjoying the countryside. Not my preferred countryside, you know, not the hills, the peaks, anywhere in the hills. But yeah, just walking up alongside this lovely little bay. Yeah, there are a few signs about. This is what I'm looking for. This is what I'm following when they are there to see. Some interesting arty pieces, Highland cows and sheep. Daffodils are out as well. Ah, it's the sheep wash. Oh, this is the sheep wash, right, I'm with it. Very interesting. The church in the background is 3 very nice carved thrones. Sunflowers on that one. A little field mouse in the wheat or whatever it is on that one, and an owl on top of a ladder, or a little Mr. Fox hiding down the bottom corner. Yeah, very nice, I like them. Right, so I've just taken a little diversion off the main trail to look at the water wheel here in Branston. Apparently it was constructed in 1879 to supply water to the local houses, gentry, etc. The original wheel was a wooden one, but it was restored with the present metal one in the early 20th century, and it supplied water until the 1960s, until Branston got mains water supply. So come across a little issue. There's a massive building site as you're trying to leave Branston, and the footpath is basically through the middle of the building site and out the back corner. But they've got a metal fence across, obviously, to stop anyone getting into the building site, and no one seems prepared to move that bit of metal fencing for me. So I'm going to try and find a way round There does seem to be another path up this way. If not, I'm just going to have to force my way through and jump over their fence. See the sign there? Actually, they've snapped it off, the Spires and Steeples sign, to try and stop you going that way. Let's hope they've replaced it with one further up this way. Ridiculous. They have rerouted the path, whether it's temporary or whether it's going to be for good, I don't know, but there is this route round the back. Just thankful I know how to use a map. So it looks like they're actually going to put the footpath through there again when it's done, as I'm sure they have to. But for now, we're back on track. I've left Branston after finding my way around the building site, and I'm now on the way to Potter Hanworth. I think we've got a bit of a train spotter. Pardon?
Where's your wellies?
I'm walking too far to be wearing wellies.
Where are you going?
To Sleaford.
Oh, right.
Is there something coming through, or are you just...
There's 3 freight trains due within about the next 45 minutes.
Alright.
All going that way.
Alright.
What's happening over here, do you know?
I've no idea, I've never walked through it before.
Oh, right.
But I'm going through some proper Lincolnshire type clayey mud. You know, the type that clings to your boots and weighs you down. Not the type you need on a 26-mile walk. But I think I just go onto this track now that's been made. So there seems to be a lot of work going on over there. Now, I'm not exactly sure what that area is. There's obviously a lot of lakes there. And I'm not sure if they're creating a nature reserve or something, but it looks like they're just building or extending car parks and doing quite a bit of work there. We'll have a little Google into that later and see what's going off at Potter Hanworth. We're heading towards the village green at Potter Hanworth. Don't think there's much here in the way of art. Yeah, it's just up ahead. Might be some flowers to look at. So not a lot in the way of flowers, but wreaths and a little war monument. Their name liveth forevermore. We'll have some names. And there is the church. So just entering Nocton. A little road section to get into it, nothing too long. Well, I'm not there yet, I suppose. I can't see how far I've got to go. The road has been fairly quiet until just now. And you want to nip over and look at the village sign. Flower bed just starting to bloom. So you can't really tell what that is till you're close up, because if you were driving into this village you'd never see that. We've got this little dandelion sundial. I've no idea how to tell what the time is. Oh, here we go. So So this car was apparently created by Nocton school children with Arts NK, that's North Kesteven, using old farm tools which have been ploughed up in the local fields. Right, so I'm just entering Metheringham. A couple of war memorials as we head through. I'm just gonna look at those hydrant as well. And cross back over. Little torch alongside St Wilfrid's parish. Not sure if I'm going to get anywhere to take a good photo of it. All covered by trees, so we'll just mosey on by, I suppose. I'll try and get one from here. So I wonder what all these are about. I'm guessing, looking at the names and these are all to do with the Bible. But I'm going in to discern if that's a good thing or not. I wasn't too sure what discern means, so I just had a quick Google to find out. And that's what it means, to find out, to recognise or find out. So if I go this way, I'm going to recognise or find out something. I'm going to find out that it's a blooming long walk to get from Lincoln to Sleaford. That's about it. The GoPro battery's just died on me, and it's the Hero 5 session, which doesn't have replaceable batteries, and I forgot to bring my little charge cable. I've got the battery pack but not a charge cable, so more onto iPhone usage. So we're about 15 miles in. Pretty good going so far. It's 3 o'clock in the afternoon, 11 miles to go. So yeah, I'm looking to be done about 7, so that should work out about right. Beautiful sunny day, nothing but fields and footpaths and dizziness now. Right, so I've just arrived at this gate and tucked into the little, what looks like an older bike inner tube there. There's an envelope, so I couldn't help being nosy. This is obviously all part of what I saw on the signpost. With it having a heart on there, I'm guessing it's something to do with Valentine's Day. Well, I'll put it back, leave it where I found it. It's obviously someone's intention, some sort of game, some sort of hunt. I'm really interested to know what it is. But I'm not going to find out stood here. Right, let's carry on. Put it back and carry on. So I didn't actually realise Blankney was so small. I thought it was a bit bigger. I've just basically walked through it. So I'm just heading on the trail between Blankney and Scotwick. And guess what I found? Another one of these envelopes. I'm going to have a look. There. Wow. Now I'm really interested to know. There's more. I'm going to have to go away from the sun, aren't I? Be wise. Wait, oh, the envelope's up here as well. I'm not going to pull them envelopes off. I don't actually think it's part of the game, and I'd like to try and figure it out. It's a bit beyond me, I think. So I'm not going to pull these envelopes off here and see what's in them. Right, so we're just passing the church here in Scotwick, and unlike most churches which are dedicated to a saint, obviously St Peter, St Paul, St Swithin, etc., this church apparently is just dedicated to the Holy Cross. So I'll have a photo of that for you to pop on. Oh, and then we'll have a photo of the little lake, and then we'll figure out where we go next. Me and my shadow. What more could a man need on Valentine's Day? Have to commend the farmers for leaving a good footpath through the fields. This is busy spraying it. Stinks as well. First little wooded section that we've had to walk through. I think it's merely a copse and we'll be out before we know it. Nice to change it up a little bit. A couple of Shetlands grazing as the sun tries to drop in for the night. Oh, he's going to come and say hello now. Hello, little one. I have nothing for you. Hello. Oh, I've got nothing for you, my man. I haven't. And still they come. As we walk away from the church, we have the little cross. There's the cross as I just wander down the middle of a road. Well, the cross is just plonked in the middle of the road. So, we're only the way here, and we've still got to get all the way to here. Only about 8 miles to go, I think. We'll go through the arches or whatever it is, and across the stone bridge. And head away from Digby. Over in the distance you might just see the outline of Dorrington Church. Now I'm heading to Dorrington next. I'm not going to the church though because it's quite a long detour from the main path. There is quite an interesting story behind Dorrington Church though, and its location. I will try and find that off the internet for you and add it in. We see shortly in Dorrington a carved sculpture of some demons. This is where the church was originally going to be built. Legend has it that during the night after each day's work, the church was destroyed. This happened again and again, so the workmen decided to stay over one night and try and catch the culprits. Nothing happened that night until the workmen went for breakfast, when once again the church was destroyed, only this time one large stone was moved to the church's present site. So from then on it was decided that they would build the church here, and from that point on work was uninterrupted, and this is where the church now stands. Sun's setting down behind the trees. Paths are still good underfoot. And I've still got Mr. Moon, who's been out with me all day as well. That's the horses as we enter Dorrington or head towards Dorrington. Hello. I've got nothing for you though, I'm afraid. I'll give you a nose a stroke. No? You want a stroke on the nose? No, you're just going to follow me to the gate, are you? Fair enough. Don't try and eat my bag. So we're just arriving at this carving here. This is depicting the Dorrington demons. It is here that the legend about the church is told. Nice piece of craftsmanship. And we go through this gate here, I believe. And head towards Ruskington. This is no fun. At 20, 21 miles, whatever I'm at. Slippy, slidey, sticky mud. And I'm not sure where it ends. The sun is pretty much gone. It will soon be dark. We'll be finishing this one in torchlight, if I can make it through this mud. Squelchy, slidey, slippy, sticky mud. And this looks a little bit drier. I shouldn't speak too soon, but so basically just come out into the centre of Ruskington. There's the church, and we head off this way. Always lots of ducks. And this little stream that runs through Ruskington. There's a couple of these quaint little seating areas. I'm going to make use of this one for a minute. There's a car coming, so I'm going to cheat him over this way. We get a waterfall thrown in for good measure. You can see it's getting a little bit dark. I'll just cross the bridge of the railway here at Ruskington. So basically leaving Ruskington now and making the long old slog up to Sleaford. I think it's about 5.5 miles. It'll be dark when we're finished. It's really starting to get quite dark. I don't think there'll be a great deal of footage of this last section of the walk. Got a gate to contend with. A very large gate for a public footpath, and I've got to see which way I'm going. That way. So yeah, we'll keep clocking up the miles. Right, well I have no idea how, but I've ended up back in Ruskington. So I've now got a decision whether I wait here and just get the train to Sleaford in an hour, or whether I continue walking, which means going back, and that's probably going to take me a couple of hours now. Given the time factor, I think I might just get the train. I don't know. I'm going to sit on the platform and have a think. What a dimler. Right, so that ended up a bit of a balls up. I think I figured out now where I went wrong. It was just after I'd gone over that babbling stream. I turned left when I think I should have turned right, and what I ended up doing was following the other side of the stream, and ended up coming back on myself I went through the same gate twice and didn't even realise it, and I crossed the same busy A153 road and didn't even realise it was the same road. It wasn't until I got back to the bridge over the railway in Ruskington that I realised I'd made a cock up. To turn around then and carry on the walk, it was going to be another 6 miles in the dark. It's starting to get cold. I think I just lost the mojo a bit, lost the will to go back and do it. So I guess we'll have to return again and do this walk when it's daylight. At least I'll know not to turn left after that to babbling bit of stream again. Still covered 26 miles, so it's a good walk. I'm not going to dwell over it. These things happen. You move on, you go on to your next walk, enjoy it. It's been a good day out in the countryside. The weather's been great. The terrain underfoot has been pretty damn good to say it's the middle of February. A couple of sticky patches in the fields, but other than that it's been pretty flat, pretty easy going. Nothing really to worry about. Would I do the walk again? Well, if I'd completed it, I would probably say never, but I prefer to be up in the hills, seeing some scenic views, rather than walking in the flat arable landscape. But maybe I would have come back again. I mean, now I've not completed it. I've got to come back again, and I've got to finish at some point. Right now I'm going home, have a long soak in the bath, have a pizza and watch the final of Hunted. So thank you for watching. Shame I didn't finish the walk. Like I say, these things happen. See you soon. So I just want to take us back to that moment on the bridge. This is where it went wrong. So I've come across this bridge after following the footpath which goes down this side of the stream. Runs parallel with the stream from the road. There is also a footpath that runs down this side of the stream which is parallel to the road. You can take either footpath, they both join up, they both meet here at the stream, at this bridge. However, in me coming down this one, I've come across that little bridge there and towards this bridge to view the running water. And of course I've seen the Spires and Steeples waymarker. Instantly thought I've got to go across the bridge. On getting to the other end of the bridge, there's only one arrow pointing to a footpath. There's no footpath that way, even though it looks quite walkable. So what this footpath does is go away from the stream a bit and kind of S round and back, runs parallel along it again. So in the dark and after doing 23 miles and feeling a little bit tired, feet have had enough, I've not even thought about it, I've just followed the arrow and followed that footpath. It hasn't clicked when I've rejoined parallel to the river again that I'm actually walking back up the way I've just come. At least up until the road, and then I actually joined the path again. What I should have done, rather than crossing this bridge, I approached from that side. So in the dark, I've just aimlessly wandered onto the bridge and not noticed the path up here. This is the way I should have gone, and this is the way to finish the walk back to Sleaford. So 3 miles left, let's go and finish the walk. So this is Leasing Mill Gauging Station. Obviously at one point there was a mill somewhere around, it's not here anymore. Local hangout for the youth of Sleaford. Same this side. Right. Woo. That's the second of those little mosaics I've seen, and I believe there's another one just up ahead. Oh, and an ice cream shop, that's tempting. So with earth power, wind power and animal power, I think. Mosaic bench and a table. And in the background our finish, our final point, St Denis Church. There is St Denis, the end of the walk. So there we have it. I've got to the end. Just parked up the road, so I'm not parking back to the car. The walk is completed, albeit in 2 journeys. But thanks for sticking with it, and hopefully we'll be back in the peaks next time. So thanks for watching, and we'll see you again soon. Bye bye.